So you might feel a little overwhelmed over the last month with all the statistics and mathematical models that have been thrown at you. And I'm going to show you why, even if you did pay attention in stats, it may not have helped because it's more a matter of the mind rather than the actual statistics. So here's a problem for you. So imagine you're a doctor and your patient just tests positive for a particular disease. Now, this particular disease is about 1 in 1,000. So the rate it happens in the population is about 1 in every 1,000 people. Also, the test isn't perfect. So it has a 5% false positive rate, which simply means when you give the test out, 5% of the time it says the person has it, but they don't. Okay. So this all took place and your patient tested positive, and now you have to break the news to them. So what probability do you tell them? So you say, well, you've tested positive for this disease. The odds that you really have it are blank. So what comes to mind? For most people, even medical students, they reason like this. They say, well, if it's right 95% of the time, so the person has a 95% chance to have the disease, but that's actually completely wrong. So let me walk you through this, and your mind may already have started to hurt. That 1 in 1,000 is very difficult for us to work into the problem because, as I said in many of my videos, we evolved, the mind evolved in these very small groups of about 100. So the mind has no clue what to do with big numbers like 1 in 1,000. So it just disregards them. But you actually have to work that into the problem. So imagine we gave the test to 1,000 people. One would have the disease. But remember, our test isn't perfect. So it also says 5% are positive when that's not true. So 5% of 1,000 is 50. So actually, if we gave 1,000 people this test, one would really have it, but 50 would test positive just because of the error implicit in our test. Um, so what does that mean? It means that the odds of your patient having the disease is 1 in 51, which turns out to be about 2%. So most physicians would go in saying, well, there's a 95% chance you have this disease, when the true actual statistical fact is that the odds are about 2% that you actually have this disease. So why is this such a problem right now? Because all of a sudden, our very limited mind is being confronted with huge numbers, huge statistical models, and it has no ability at all to deal with this. This is like letting our dog drive our car for us. I mean, dogs are great, they have a purpose, but they are not really good at driving our car. And there's an old saying in cognitive science that either you learn to use your mind or your mind will continue to use you. So when it comes to statistics, realize that most of this is a product of how the mind functions, not the actual raw numbers. And so if we continue to kind of let these statistics um, take us to places that we were never meant to be, then we're going to really be in a position where our mind is actually using us rather than us using it.